What is going on, everybody? It's Eagle, and in today's video we're going to be starting a brand new hardcore world in the new Minecraft 1.21 update. If you don't know what hardcore is where you only have one life, so if you die, you die. I'm going to be taking on the challenge of living as long as possible, creating amazing houses, villages, and landscapes as we go. In this first episode, we transform this area of the mountain valley into something truly amazing. Since this is my world, I want to play how I like. For me, that means removing fire spreads and adding a couple of small data packs. With just this first episode going great, I'm so excited to see how far this series goes. If you enjoyed, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on what you want to see me do in the next video. But with that being said, let's get into it. Knowing the dangers of hardcore, coming into this, I knew I needed to get to bed as soon as possible. Obviously, first I needed to punch a tree, get some cobblestone, and even some coal that was nearby. And after that, while taking the landscape, I found one of the new dog variants. And going down the hill the other way, I found the ashen variant, my favorite. At this time, dawn was already approaching, so as I was looking down into the valley, I was attacked by a pillager, meaning that there was a pillager outpost nearby. So I took out the pillager and went down into the valley hoping to find some fish in the water, but there was none. As it was night and my hunger was already dropping, I took this as a great time to place down my smoker and start cooking up some meat. I then killed one more sheep to get all 3 wool pieces I need, and then we were able to make a bed. After sleeping through the night, I woke up, swam down the river, and mined a little bit of iron I found on the side. After making it out of the river, I came up to the meadow and spotted this giant mountain. And I found a pink sheep, and I named him Paul. Don't worry, Paul, we'll be back for you. But then nearing closer to the mountain, I saw this giant meadow plains area, and I knew we had to live here. But then going a little bit further, I spotted a village off in the distance. First I took the brewing stand, then I took a bunch of the hay bales that I found around the village. After taking everything else out of the village, I went over the mountain and spotted a jungle and acacia biome. Then after a little bit of a trek, we returned home with the shaders on, and we really took a second to take in the beauty of this landscape. Then we set up a little mini base of operations down in the valley. Then we made a little mini well and started tilling the land so that we could place a little bit of the crops that we took from the village. We spent a little bit of time getting all of the animals and all of the pens that we need. But after realizing we basically had 0 iron, we went up into the mountains and mined all of the iron that we could find. After making it back with about 2.5 stacks of iron, we created this little mini super smelter thing where we can put items into the top chest to be smelted, the back chest for fuel, and the bottom chest as the output. Then I took a couple minutes to do a little bit of terraforming. But after running out of dirt, I realized that I needed to get all of the different sapling types, so I set out on a journey to go and get them all. And finally, after so long, we were able to come back with all of the different saplings. We got birch, which we already had. We have jungle now, acacia, dark oak, mangrove, and pill oak. We also picked up a couple of closed eye blossom flowers, some melons, and some bamboo and sugarcane. So we got a lot. We've also just come over here and created a little bit of a mini sugarcane farm just so that we can have this over here growing up while we are doing the rest of the terraforming. But with no further ado, let's get into good old-fashioned time-lapse mode and finish up the terraforming of this area. And oh my gosh, we have finally finished terraforming our entire area. We made it look nice over here, add a nice little curve right here. We'll probably put a little house right here, some sort of village house. This is going to be where our main house goes. We added a nice little cliff. We made a bunch of curves in the landscape, different shapes, just like all the terraforming YouTubers tell you to do. And honestly, the world is our oyster, man. We can make this go all the way into this right here and just honestly just make this whole area look good. But for now, let's finally get into the main agenda of this video and gather up the materials to build our starter base, because it right now is day 45 and I haven't gathered any materials yet, so let's start doing that right now. Okay guys, you're not gonna believe what I found. I got protection 4 for 14 emeralds. The lowest I ever had was like 30. This is insane. We need to go home, get some emeralds, and buy this right now, because this is insane. So we returned some emeralds, locked in the protection 4 trade, and even ended up getting silk touch, which we needed for some materials. Then we mined up a little bit more iron so that we could make an anvil to put silk touch onto our axe. Then we used that axe to gather up some brown mushroom blocks. And alright guys, we have finally gathered up all the materials. This took a super long time, but before we get into building our starter house, I think that we should go back here and break down all of these trees because they are starting to get in the way and it won't look as good, so let's do it. Wow, super cool, fun time lapse, break it down all the trees, go around here to the corner, let's do it, fun, woo. Okay guys, that's just about all the stalling that I can do. Let's finally get into the good old time lapse of building up the starter base of Hardcore Season 1. Let's do it. And wow, we have finally finished the starter base. What do you guys think? I honestly love it. I love the little tower on the left with the little windows, with the scaffolding and everything. I just think it looks so awesome. Then you come over here to the right and you see the little house, come up the non-existent path, which we'll add later. Come inside, there's a nice little campfire over here, a little table. To the right, there's more tables and lanterns with some storage above it. Then you go up the stairs, and up here it's a little bit empty, but we'll add in an interior some other time. Then once you come over here through the door, over the little bridge area, you come, and there's about 3 levels to this thing. So this is level 1, level 2, and level 3. And up here, this is where we'll put our enchanting setup, which we have enough books for, we just don't have any diamonds. So we need to go and mine for that next episode. But I kept feeling like we were missing something, and I thought, well, hello, there needs to be a path up there and some crop fields to the right and left, so let's add it now. Then we went up into the mountains to get iron, but then this tragic event occurred. What the heck? But the rabbit just killed itself, bro. After that tragic event, I was truly heartbroken, but we had to continue. We had to grind out the iron for Mr. Rabbit. And now we just came back from up in the mountains, mining up all of that iron and a little bit of coal and stuff, and we have some more iron smelting in here, but we have a nice amount of iron now. This should sustain us for a little bit longer. But now, with that being said, let's gather up some materials and build this tree. If you don't know what I'm referring to by this tree, I'm going to build a custom tree every episode, getting better and better. Let me know what your opinion on this is, and if there's any trees in specific you want to see me build. And look at this. The new tree looks so great. This is one of my first times ever building a custom tree, and I know I might have hyped it up a little bit. You guys thought it was going to be a little bit better, but I really like it. It could use a leaf right here or something, hanging down one more. But I really like it. It looks kind of like the other azalea tree, and I like how the trapdoors spread out and look like little roots and stuff. And my favorite part is this little lantern hanging off of it. Now we can have that in the middle of the crop field, and it kind of breaks everything up. But like I said, I am a work in progress with the tree building. I still need to do a lot more, but it is just nice to, start the learning curve, After this, I ended up going to the top of the little hill and mining out all the stone and replacing it with dirt, just so that I could look a little bit better. Then I used all the stone that I gathered to make a nice little boundary around our fields. I think it looks so much better now. And I think that is going to be the end of today's episode, guys. We built our humble starter base, a giant field of crops. We have a bunch of cows down there and stuff. Built giant walls surrounding everything. And most importantly, we survived. And it's day 79 right now, and we have gotten all of this stuff done. I still need to move that into my house, but we can get that done later. but I really enjoyed this episode so much. This is one of my first times ever building a uniquely textured house, and this is probably the best build I've ever made in my life. I tried out an interior for the first time, even though there's nothing up here. We started a tower for our enchantment setup, which we already have 12 bookshelves for, and honestly, we just did so much this episode, and I'm so proud of how much work that we got done. But with that being said, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and stay safe. God bless, and see you later. Bye.